Hello everyone, my name is Gato, the host of the Lonely Corner podcast. Before we dig into this pilot episode, I would like to inform you beautiful listeners that my guest and I were severely intoxicated in the time of the recording of this pilot, and given the circumstances, I would like to inform you all that we here in the Lonely Corner do not condone nor encourage drinking in excess. We believe you should live the life you want to live, but also loving the life you have. We all in all had fun, and hope you all as well. Stay safe, much love, and now, welcome to the program. Before I begin,
why you on hiatus?
Oh man, I've been on hiatus. I started Lonely Corner like back in 2017, and then I stopped because I was pussy, but now I'm not.
Bro, that's 3 years.
3 years? 34 years? But I'm back. I gotta let the world know that I'm a bad bitch. I'm the realest bitch. I gotta let it be known. And also, free Britney Spears. Free Britney till it's backwards. Fuck the system. We gonna keep saying it till every episode until she is free.
She just wants to see her kids, man.
Exactly. She just wants to be free. She's a grown woman. She needs her freedom. And let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? My name is Gato, and welcome to the brand new episode of the Lonely Corner. And I am joined by my fucking what do we say? Fucking podcast.
I'm the one that made you do this shit again.
Yeah, man. Give it up for Cheeb.
I'm Cheeb from Haunts R Us podcast. That's Haunts R Us like Toys R Us, but with a haunts. I do a podcast. I'm an artist, so I like to draw little Raggedy Ann characters because the most famous haunted doll is Annabelle, who is just a giant Raggedy Ann doll. You could find our YouTube channel here, Haunts R Us Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, but we haven't uploaded all the episodes. We're also on hiatus.
Yeah.
But that's because I bought a house, so.
Yeah, man. We also some grown women, you know what I'm saying? She out here doing big money, big girl moves. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just be out here, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is fucking, I'm Gato Haunts, this is Cheeb Haunts, and, you know.
Oh, yeah, Gato, you're in the podcast. Yeah, if you guys have been craving more Lonely Corner, Gato has been on my podcast, Haunts R Us, for like the past, I think, it's been almost 1 or 2 years that we did the podcast already.
It's been a year or so.
Yeah, we've been doing.
We don't keep track, dude. We just do what we do.
We did the podcast for like a year straight, and then we took another hiatus.
Yeah, man. We busy women, but you know, as busy women, we like to relax, and when we relax hard because we're grown women, and you know, we be sipping good.
I'm sipping right now.
Yeah. And by good, what do you mean? What you sipping on, Cheeb? What you sipping on?
I'm sipping on Mike's Harder Cranberry, dude. I'm not good with like craft beers, fucking IPAs and shit. I don't do that shit. I do ciders. I do like the fruity drinks. I'll drink Stella Rosa wine because it's like stupid sweet. It's just soda.
Plus the cap is twistable. You know what I mean? We don't have to get like the big cork.
I remember.
Like, get it off.
So. I don't know if we're gonna bring any Haunts R Us listeners here, but the day that there was one day that I took Gato to the beach, and I got some Stella Rosa wine on the beach, and I was just like, bro, you need to get your forklifter's license.
So she pretty much tricked me, right? Her and Sock Monkey, they were like, hey, let's kick it in the beach. I'm like, I bet. And so we sipping good, and I'm buzzing lightly, and they're like showing me like the forklifting certification, like what does it take to do, and then how much it cost. And they were like, damn, it's on sale, so $60, you can get your forklift license, and then once you get that, you can get a wife. That kind of shit.
Yeah, Sock Monkey is also a character from Haunts R Us. That's our editor.
Yeah. he's God, you know what I mean? So like whatever we say, he can cut it out, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, the real creator of Hansaras is actually the editor. We are just puppets in his play.
Exactly.
I think Gato, you edit your own episodes, so you're the god of your own.
Yeah, which I don't even recall how I do it. I just do it all in one take. I remember in the first installments, but I deleted a lot of them. If you look at my channel, it's just a whole bunch of Roblox. That's all I've been playing.
Wait, show me like pachangas.
Yeah. So when I be on Roblox these days, I put the Hansa Rust crew on this server called Pachangas. Pachangas, I don't know what.
Pachangas is how you say it.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a server on Roblox where we are in a role-playing
a big Mexican party.
Yeah, like
so they play a lot of like classic, not cumbias. They don't play cumbias. That's like our parents' music.
Rarely they do. Sometimes corridos, but it's usually like new ranchero type
party music.
Yeah, think of it like Edgar's. You know when they have the haircut and the mamalonas, right? That kind of music, or like Bad Bunny. Right, they don't play like us because we're fucking boomers. You know what I mean? Like we're old bitches. I don't know who gave you the impression that we're like 18. No, we're old. We're grown. We pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? We don't do none of that. You know what I mean? And no disrespect. You know what I mean? Much love to y'all, but yeah, we grown, man. We sleep by like 9 p.m. type shit. You know?
Dude, right now I really have like no excuse not to do Haunts content. When I started doing Haunts R Us, I was working as a baker, and it broke my body.
yeah, man.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't do more drinking. I would drink a lot more when I work in the empaques. Mm-hmm. And I'm making it sound like this is something that we talked about earlier, but like we're like Hispanic, right? We're Mexican.
Yeah.
But like looking at it, we're like really privileged in like the position that we're here in Mexico. Mm-hmm. My parents made me work in the empaques as like a lesson, but it kind of backfired because I was just like, school is dumb. I want to get paid. So I dropped out of university and I bought a house.
Yeah. That's how you do it, folks.
Yeah. See, some of you are wondering, like, why would you do that? Well, for those of you that don't know, in order to get like a home loan, you need to have like stable employment for like around 5 years, and you need to make like a certain amount of income. Mm-hmm. And I was already like making that with like me and my fiance combined. So I already had those credentials and I had already built up my credit. And if I would have gone to school, I would have gotten a bunch of student loan debt, and that would have really affected my ability to like get a loan. And it's just like, well, why do you go to school?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why do you go to school? You go to school so that way you could have a job to buy a house.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? And like I'm already here with the ability to like buy a house because like I'd been building my credit for like 2 years. Exactly. And I had I had stable employment at like a good job for like over 5 years. So you know.
Mm-hmm. And then me, I'm trying to go back into the trade. I'm trying to go back to
definitely for like younger kids. We're millennials and we're already like in our 30s. We're buying property. I mean, some of us are buying property. Some of us are buying products.
Actually,
yeah.
Hey, we're doing pretty.
For the younger generation, I do not know what they're called. It's not really important, but I would really recommend learning like a 1 to 2 year trade, and that's it.
At the very least, yeah.
I mean, the way I see it, if you want to go into education, it's because you want to, like, I don't know, learn interesting things, or you want to become an engineer or get into, like, the sciences or STEM. Mm-hmm. Everything else is just sort of enrichment, and there's, like, nothing wrong with, like, pursuing enrichment, but, like, a lot of kids were, like, sold on that, and they thought they would make money because they thought, like, professors, like, live in houses. Professors don't live in houses.
They fucking live in their cars. Like, let's be real. A lot of times when you get taught in, like, universities, like, high-end, like, UCs and that kind of thing, they're living in their cars. They're still living at home. Nothing wrong with that, but, like, they're not living, like, big ballin' like how, like, the schools will teach you. You know what I'm saying? So, a trade will go a long way. Because if you're, you know, disinterested, like how I did, where I got disinterested in my original degree or pursue, like, at the very least, like, a trade would have helped me, like, make more money while I'm trying to decide what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, it's like, you want to own your own property. You want to own your own shit. Why would you want to, like, keep living in an apartment at 40 plus year old? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. Because, like, for some people, like, that's just, like, maybe they live in the city and they want to live in the city.
Oh, yeah, let's live in the city, yeah. Cause,
and, like, their jobs are in the city, usually.
Yeah, you can't really, like, have acres of land by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You live in, like, fucking Portland, Oregon. You're gonna have to live in the city. Mm-hmm. You can't live off the land as much as you want to. If you want to, like, go to Mexico or something, like, something, like, along those lines, man. Mm-mm. You know, speaking of Mexico, tequila. Are you interested in that? Do you like tequila?
I don't like tequila. I will actually tell you. Like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I come from my family like came to this country and they managed to accomplish a lot here. And I think the first drink I had was sake in Cancun. So don't judge me,
dude.
Don't judge me.
Not even in the Bay Area, but you went to Mexico and you tried sake.
We went when I was 19.
You could have got... Bro, hella kids would come in when they're like 14 and they get like fucking... What do you call like the big beers? Not the Cubanas, though.
The Tecate?
Tecate, but like the big bottle jug beers. What were they called?
I don't know, man. I'm not that trashy. Like I told you, my first alcoholic drink was like in a hotel fucking Japanese restaurant in Cancun. So
Jesus Christ. Yeah, nah, for me, I was like 6 years old and my dad was like sipping on Tecate and I drank it because the bottle was red and I thought it was Coke. So I sipped on it and I was like, because it was disgusting.
Oh, that happened to me too. My dad was at a party and he set down his Bud Light and I was just like, apple juice. And it was like the fucking worst shit I've ever tasted. So that kind of kept me away from it.
Pepsi. And you sip on it, you're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, man, don't tell people the way I live. It's like, your first alcoholic drink was in Cancun. It's like, don't tell people how I live.
Don't look at me.
Oh, God. So, dude, I remember this one time I was visiting one of my friends at her house for 4th of July.
Oh, okay.
And my brother makes really bad financial decisions. So he bought like a nice little sports car that he couldn't afford.
Oh shit, okay.
And it was the only car that was available at the time, so we had to take it to the party. And I really like alternative fashion, so I was wearing I like J fashion. As you can tell, my first drink was sake. I'm kind of a weeb. I really like Japanese pop fashion, so I was wearing like my big princess dress. So I'm like rolling up in my sports car in my princess dress. And they're just like, dang, look at you. You're coming in with like your nice ass car with like your pretty dress. And I'm just like, bro, don't tell people I live like this.
Like big ball and cheese. What's good?
Don't tell people I live like this, dude.
Flexing at your friend's party.
I didn't.
It's her birthday. No, it's your birthday. That's that's the message you're giving out.
Yeah, and it had like the convertible hard top, so I had all of my friends sit down in the car and watch the fireworks.
Nice. Hell yeah, man! Shouts out to Cheeb's friends, man. That's what's up, dude. That's
yeah, we don't have that car anymore because it was a giant financial strain.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that was.
What type of car was it?
It was a BMW M3.
Okay,
with a hard-top convertible.
Yeah, unless you got big money.
It was used, but I don't know.
a fender bender, it would go a long ways because German
like they
parts,
break down every fucking 2 hours.
And like investing in like, especially if it's like a fender bender or like an oil change or some shit like that, they charge you hella for those imports compared to like a fucking like a Challenger or like a Honda. Nah, man, but you enjoyed it while you can, man. And
I mean, we did have fun with it. It was we live in the Bay Area. It's just like fucking people watching this, like fucking bougie ass fucking white people. First of all, we're Mexican.
Bougie ass otakus hopping out the whip, listening to Julieta Vengares, that kind of shit.
First of all, we got ready for this podcast by smoking on the porch of my house at midnight. So we're not in bougie at all.
In fact, we're depressing. You know that Doomer meme, everybody? The one with the guy, he's smoking a cigarette with a beanie and a black hoodie. That's literally how you can describe me as fucking, yeah, that's literally it.
Man.
Cause, yeah, man, I've been going on my walks and shit. Cause I've been drinking and shit. And like when you're drinking, sometimes it takes you to places that you don't even know where you can take off.
Like the Haunts Are Us podcast. There's a couple of times where you came on and you were drunk. And, like, you passed out in the middle of an episode and you recorded, like, an hour of white noise. and, like, that was, like, a pattern for, like, the first season of the Haunts Are Us podcast.
Yeah, so if you listen to, like, I think, like, the first 10 or first, I would say, yeah, like, I would be, like, talking, like, weird shit. And then I remember we did, like, a story time episode and, like, you and Thoughty, which is our another co-host, you're like, Gato. And I'll be like, like fucking snoring and shit. Yeah, because that was literally it. That was my lifestyle at that point. Because we would always record like at night. Mm-hmm.
And you would always get crunk because I think you were battling some demons at that point, you know?
Yeah. We all deal with demons.
I didn't want to mention it or anything, so it's just like, well, you know, we're all dealing with something. It'll pass. And eventually it did. You got a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't bring it up, Twitter would, because I would tweet it out. Like,
episode is about it's about our drunken stories.
About drinking. Yeah, that's why I bring up tequila, because you know what? I can never do, like, mixed drinks. Like, anything that's, like, hard liquor. Mm-hmm. I love to, like, mix it, because I could never take shots. You know,
never did tequila and squirt?
I would, but I would dilute it so much so that I wouldn't taste the tequila. Mm-hmm. But because I would dilute it, I wouldn't taste it at all, so I would drink it fast. Mm-hmm. And then you realize, you're like, oh shit, I did like 3 shots worth, and you're dummy drunk, drunk, dude. That's how I would be. So that's why I would stay away from it. I don't know about you. Did you ever do shots?
I think I did, in like my 21st birthday party, which is a story on its own.
Oh, you gotta tell me. I remember you. Yeah. In one episode of Haunts Are Us, who was it? Nikita barely mentioned it, but like a lot of things.
I try not to mention it because I'm still kind of fucking mad about it. It's been almost like a decade since that shit happened, and I'm still kind of mad about it. And like I don't talk to the person who did that.
Right.
Not anymore, anyways.
Right. Do you want to briefly bring it up, or?
So, what happened was that I was turning 21 the following week, but my parents had left town. So I decided to invite all of my friends over to my place, and I told them all to bring alcohol. And of course, they filled up an entire, like, you know, the little, how do you say, the fold up, the plastic. They filled up an entire, like, plastic fold-up table full of alcohol. Nice. So my cup runneth over with alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I had a friend, I'm not going to mention her by name, out of respect for her.
Of course.
Because, like, even though I don't talk to her, she's her own private person. She doesn't deserve to be called out or anything. It's just someone who I used to know, an old high school friend.
Yeah.
And she had just broken up with her boyfriend at the time. They were in a not great relationship. I would even go as far as to say that it was something of an emotionally abusive relationship.
Ah, yikes! Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the entire time well, like, she started pre-gaming while, like, me and another friend were, like, getting everything ready for the party.
Right.
Because we were, like, running to, like, Walmart and, like, getting stuff for the party. And, like, she was already, like, at my house and, like, the dining table, like, drinking. Mm-hmm. So she wasn't in, like, the best state of mind. And then at that time, she was also texting her ex. Also a bad thing to do while you're drunk.
Of course.
Kind of egging him to come over to the party. Because I was good friends with his ex. I think at the time I had barely started dating my husband. Mm-hmm. For context, I've been dating my husband for like 10 years. Okay. We're not married yet. We need to get like our wedding officiated. But anyways, that's semantics. But like, this is like almost 10 years ago.
Right.
So I had just started dating my husband, and hold on, I'm drunk.
We're drunk. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm drunk too. So it's okay. Take your time.
And like my husband, and my friend's ex were old like high school buddies. So like we were running in the same circles, and all of my friends were friends with him, you know. So, like, I had no problem with him being at the party because, like, he's one of my friends. Like, I still talk to him from time to time to check up on him. He's a cool guy. He's a nice guy, you know? Mm-hmm.
But it was her.
Mm-hmm. But she was egging your mom to come in. So eventually he shows up to the party with a friend, you know, to be safe. And,
or like an actual buddy?
No, an actual friend, yeah.
Okay.
And, like, they walk into the garage where, like, all the festivities are happening. They see my liquor display, and they go straight for the liquor. He just, like, completely, like, ignores his ex, and he starts drinking, and this rubs her the wrong way. And so he starts getting drunk, and, like, she's already drunk. So as, like, the festivities go on, like, the tensions kind of grow between them. And, like, I guess one of the ways that it was described to me was that, like, she was hoping that he would sit next to her. But, of course, he sits next to someone else further away from her. And it just builds up from there and there that she recognizes that her ex-boyfriend is avoiding her and does not want to speak to her because they're just freshly broken up. And so, like, it builds up, the emotional tension builds up until, like, at some point I walk into the garage from, like, you know, hosting. Because the party's happening all throughout my house. There's the garage, there's my living room where folks are playing video games and having a good time. And at some point I walk in and she ends up barricading herself and, like, yelling at everyone because she's hurting. So she starts hurting, and so, like, she has, like, this emotional outbreak, and, like, people are yelling at her, and, like, she's saying some hurtful things, and she says something so hurtful that, like, one of my guests has to leave because it triggers, because she gets emotionally triggered. So, like, at that point... One of my treasured friends, like, has her mom pick her up because she's been struck emotionally by, like, something that a drunken woman has said to her
at your party. Not even hers, but
my party, and
at your house on
and
your
I'm
property.
Absolutely fucking mortified by it to this day.
As you should, dude. Your 21st. I mean, technically, actually, it wasn't your actual 21st, but, like, that's like a big, like, milestone for, like, young adults, and it gets fucking ruined by that.
Like, one of my cherished guests has to leave, you know, because there's a yelling match
another guest
happening in the garage.
Damn, dude.
As in the garage that's happening, like, pretty much all of the women, most of the women are in the garage, and there's just, like, a screaming match happening between them and my old friend.
Right.
And the ex-boyfriend, he's in the living room, and he's also distraught, and, like, everyone is trying to comfort him by putting some video games on. And I'm an avid toy collector. I still collect a lot of toys, so I have a lot of plushies in my home, just like in my parents' home. I have, like, a lot of plushies just on, like, the couch and stuff.
Right.
So I guess, like, because that's something that's nearby. all of my guest games.
Yeah.
He's the poor thing is crying his eyes out, and we're handing him stuffed animals for him to hold.
Dang, poor man.
Yeah, and at some point, at this point, my husband shows up to the party because he just got off of work.
Right.
And we're like, hey, you need to take this gentleman home. Something happened.
Yeah.
So he comes in and he has to take the ex-boyfriend back home.
Dang.
And yeah, it was kind of an awkward night for the rest of that because it was supposed to be like a sleepover. And my friends did not stay and sleep over at my house.
Oh, so you stayed alone?
Yeah.
Oh man, cheers to them. I'm done drinking for the night, but I sip on some water to that, dog. That's some shit. That is some shit.
Yeah. You got more drunk than I did.
Yeah. We sip it beforehand, and then Cheeb just has her second one going on, so
yeah.
I'm still pretty yeah, I got 2 smokes in and I'm fucking settling it for the night. But that's some shit, man. I fucking raised my bottle of water to you because that is some shit, dude. It be like that, though. That's why, like, when I like to, like, go out drinking, I like to make sure, like, who... Because, like, when you're drunk, you convert into a different person. You're either, like, happy, sad, or you, like, want to fight everybody, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I avoid the violent or the ones that try to provoke drama. Mm-hmm. Or the ones that are like, oh, fuck it, I'm loosey-goosey, I'm gonna say what's on my mind, and I'll excuse it. You know what I mean? Like, not taking personal accountability to what they're saying. Just like with that incident that happened. Because then, like, you know, emotions run deep. And even though, like you said, it's been almost like a decade, dude, like,
I'm
that
absolutely mortified, dude. I don't ever want someone to... Because I like to have parties. Yeah. I wouldn't have bought my own house if I didn't like to entertain.
Yeah.
As you could see, like, I'm working on my dining room right now.
A conversation pit, dude.
Yeah,
man. What's the point of having it if you can't fill it with people? You know what I'm saying? But
I got, like, my sectional sofa with my complimentary chairs. I don't fucking know what they're called. I don't know. Yeah. We're in my living room right now.
Yeah.
But I do like to entertain, and I'm mortified that happened. I don't ever want it to happen again.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I must have taken a lesson from that because I'm not a heavy drinker. When I drink, I like to eat really big meals.
That's the best way to balance it
so
out.
like wings, like we had wings earlier today, which is why we started drinking. Or like big pizzas, or like pasta, or like if there's a party and there's big meals, like there's always food around to like kind of balance you out. So I like to, when I drink, I like it to be like something where like I'm drinking a big meal, or I'm at a restaurant and I'm eating a big meal, and I always drink very slowly, you know. Because I want to talk to the person that I'm with, you know? Yeah. I want to engage them in conversation. I don't want to do something stupid.
Yeah, man. Don't be like me. Just like fucking like just over drinking, and then like I joined a church on accident. That type of shit.
Yeah, I've never been blackout drunk. I've never had a hangover. Drinking for me is purely like how do you say, for parties. Social. There we go. A social event.
Interesting. Yeah, man. I like to... Well, back in the day, I used to go really overboard because, like, you know, drinking was so new to me, right? Like, when I was freshly 21, I was like, oh, man, I can, like go to the bars. I can go out and, you know, like, party or whatever, and, like, actually buy my own drinks and everything. Like, I don't have to rely on nobody. So, of course, I can go out and do my own thing, but then I would go overboard because of how, like, goody it felt. And then, like, for me, I would get, like, really sad, right? So I'll be, like, crying, right? Like, if you have me on Twitter, I'll be, like, sad posting that type of shit.
You were fucking sad posting for, like, a fucking while.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm gonna make everybody emotional, dude, that type of shit. But these days, nah, I'll be pretty tame. But, like, back in the day, I remember when, like, things was, like, really rough and heavy for me last year. I got really, really plastered at this one popular bar in the Bay Area. And as I was leaving, and this was, like, midday, so, like, afternoon, I was, like, walking out. I'm still buzzing. Like, the sky was, like, bright, dizzy.
Fucking getting drunk in daylight, bro. Yeah. Fucking cringe, bro.
Day drinking?
That's pretty cringe, bro.
I was like,
we didn't start drinking until 7. And we had wings.
I was drinking like at fucking 11, stopping at 2, that type of shit. I'm like, it's noon in Australia. That type of bullshit.
That's some drowning demons bullshit.
Yeah, that's how it be, you know. So I was really buzzing. So I go to the downtown area. I'm walking around, and there's like a group of people, right, like in a circle. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, in my drunken state, I'm like, oh shit, they're having a fight. Right, so I had my phone and the camera mode on, like I was ready to scream out World Star, you know what I mean? So like I carry my shit up and I'm running, and as I go to the circle, it's just a prayer circle, you know what I'm saying? Like they are praying, they're like a Christian church on a tour, and so like at their point was to just get people to like recruit them to like join their church or whatever. And so I go on there in the center, but I didn't know about it until they were talking about it. So then I was trying to leave. These ladies were like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Da da da. And then I was like introducing myself. I was talking to them about my problems, but I was plastered at that point. I start spilling everything, like unleashing my demons onto them, and they were like, "Yeah, I feel you the same way too with the pandemic and." I just got a divorce.
You were drinking in the pandemic, bro?
Yeah. I was like, man, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all were, because that pandemic hit us all. Especially if you were unfortunate like me, being unemployed. You were like, man, what else can we do? Like, we gotta...
Bitch, I was an essential worker.
This bitch talking about unprivileged. And like, yeah, man. And these ladies, they were so sweet to me. They were talking about their demons or whatever, you know what I mean? They were like, yeah, you know what, Sister Gato, do you want to pray with me? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So it was like me and 2 other ladies, so they're like hugging on me like shoulder to shoulder, and they're like praying to me. They're like, dear Jesus, please save Sister Gato from all the demons that were happening in this world, and pray for her soul to be blessed and happy for the future and all this other shit. And like they were crying, dude, like bawling out of their eyes, like, you know, like when you watch like the Jesus infomercials where they're like doing the ceremonies where they're like, and Jesus will bless you, and they beat the people with Bibles, that type of seminars. That's what they call them. Yeah. It was kind of like that, but they didn't beat me. I'll tell you that right now.
Get to like pass out from like the Holy Spirit or whatever.
Nah, they didn't have that kind of power. So I was like, nah, I'm good. But like they were like making me cry, so I shed a tear a little. I exchanged my phone number at that point. I was like, I didn't realize till like after, like when I sobered up, and I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this person texting me? And like there's these people like sending me like Zoom meetings. Mm-hmm. They were like, yeah, Sister Gato, come and visit our YouTube live stream of our church, so you can come pray with us and all this other shit. And I'm like, yeah, sure,
sure, dude.
Yeah, man. So essentially, actually, technically, I am part of that church. I just never respond to their texts at this point. Am I a bitch? Be honest. Am I a bitch for not texting back? I mean, be honest.
They can't tell if you went to the YouTube live or not.
I mean, because they're telling me, they're like, now that the temples are open and whatever, come through. I never came through. You think when I die, Jesus will hold the book and be like, you know, not only were you a homosexual, but you also didn't go to that church. Do you think he'll say that to me?
You're gonna go to that church, man.
I'm sorry, we gotta send you to hell.
I mean, purgatory maybe exists. I mean, that might have also been an invention of, like, Dante's Inferno.
Right,
The thing about, like, religion is that, like, people can kind of just make up the canon for it.
Right.
And for the folks of you who, like fandom, you recognize the word canon. The word canon comes from Catholicism, because they decide what's canon and not in the Bible.
Exactly.
And I like to study that sort of stuff, the sort of, like, mythological side of Catholicism, because I'm actually unironically Catholic.
In this day and age, cringe.
Bro, you guys, I'm unironically Catholic.
This bitch don't even drink wine.
I don't like it. I don't like when we drink from the germ cup.
From the same cup that every other person has to drink out of. The gingivitis cup, dude.
The fucking COVID cup, man.
The COVID cup. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
No, I don't do that shit, dude.
That is crazy. That is, when you think about it, like with hell and heaven, right? If it's real. Would you rather go to heaven or hell? Because, okay, think about it, not just from, like, the torturous or, like, the reward system, right? Think about it, like, from the entertainment aspect. Right? Like, who's going to heaven, who's going to hell? Would you rather be in heaven or in hell?
I don't know, man. The way the Bible describes heaven is very generic and up for interpretation.
Right.
So, like, when you asked me about, like, whether, like, gay folks are allowed to go to heaven, I told you that, like, every denomination has their own interpretation, and they're allowed to.
Right.
Everyone's allowed to have their own interpretation of what the Bible says. Like, it's valid, even if it's, like, toxic or whatever. Like, that's just the way people are, dude.
Yeah.
It's not something that's exclusive to, like, Christianity.
Right.
Like, every strand of, like, religion has, like, these, like, really toxic or kind of, like, weird ideas of, like, what is and isn't valid in, like, their sacred text or whatever. Because, like, at the end of the day, the texts are kind of, like, generic on it.
Right.
Like, they don't really talk too much about it. When we talk about, like, the Bible, a lot of it is, well, I don't want to fucking do you fucking Bible class or anything, because I'm fucking drunk right now, so... I don't want to fucking do you a fucking Bible. But, like, everything is kind of up to interpretation. It's kind of, like, a bit flowery. It's kind of vague. The solid things that we can get from the Bible are, like, some first or secondhand accounts of, like, when Jesus was around. We have some texts that were written from, like, certain folks that came into the religion, and, like, they wrote, like, their own thoughts about it. So there's, like, a lot of more philosophy to the Bible, as there is, like, hard and straight rules. Because we really have, like, the hard and straight rules more, like, in the First Testament. And, like, a lot of Christians don't really refer to the First Testament unless it's, like, convenient to them. Really. Because it's, like, shit in the First Testament is, like, mostly, like, more mythology. And, like...
That's true. That's very fucking true.
So, it's kind of, like, fucking up in the air with that sort of shit. Like, they have priests and stuff to, like... interpret it, dude. Like, the thing about church is, like, I don't even fucking know if, like, it's even about the Bible anymore, so much as it is about having, like, a guy have his own fucking soapbox. So the worst sermon I've ever fucking heard was, like, this priest was essentially saying he was like, hey man, don't beat your wife, cause, like, pretend Jesus is watching. You don't beat your wife when people are watching, right? So Jesus is watching all of the time, and I was just
cringe, dude. That's cringe.
I think it's a bit more complicated. It's a bit more nuanced than that. I think it's
I think you should just not beat your wife in general, even if you're not religious, perhaps.
I think spousal abuse is a bit more complicated than that. I think it's, there's a bit of, But yeah, that was the worst fucking sermon I've ever heard in my life, dude. I didn't like that at all.
I think like in the early 2010s, I went to a sermon. This is back when Lady Gaga was barely popping in like 2010 or 2011. Big star, and they were talking about like, make sure your kids don't listen to Lady Gaga and this and that and all. And then we're just like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean that you can't listen to Lady Gaga or whatever the fuck? Like, they were talking like crazy shit. Like, you couldn't. Yeah, like they were going really hard on like really trivial things, like how your kids should speak and like who your kids should listen to, that kind of thing. Like, it's very interesting. And I bring up like heaven or hell because I really think about like, okay, like if I'm in heaven or hell, who would I have the most fun in either or? Right? Because like I said, I'm looking at it from the entertainment aspect of it, right?
I think Western wise, like our interpretation of heaven and hell is like was really formed by Dante's Inferno, where he introduced the concept of like, what is it, purgatory and stuff, and like it's not in the Bible, it's not in literally anything. It was in Dante's Inferno, the Divine Comedy, which is it's a fun parody book. I haven't read it myself, but a lot of our interpretation of like what heaven and hell looks like comes from that piece of fiction. And it's just like it shapes popular culture, and at the end, like, it's like the concept of like punishment and like reward at the end, like that's something that they talk about in all religions, you know, whether it be like you get reincarnated or you go to like heaven or hell, whatever word set they use for that. But it's like Western ways, like our idea of what heaven and hell looks like has been like greatly shaped by like a piece of pop culture.
Honestly,
because like at the end, like the Bible doesn't really have a lot of description on that. There's a lot of secondary texts that talk about like demons and stuff, and like a lot of that stuff was like, for context, a lot of that stuff was written in like the Middle Ages by like really bored monks.
Like they had a lot of times in their hands, no jobs type motherfuckers, so of course they're gonna say some shit like,
some of them eat like 9 meals a day.
Or they eat one big meal per day.
They're just like fucking taken care of, because like in the Middle Ages, like the church had a lot of money.
Yeah, man.
So, like, when we look at, like, the Bible itself doesn't have, like, a lot of descriptors of that. It has, like, a lot of, I don't know, I think it's the best way to put it is, like, a lot of philosophy. A lot of ideas. And, like, a lot of descriptions of what life was like at the time that it was written. But, like, as far as, like, this, like, people will ask me, like, oh, what, heaven and demons and shit, and, like, they're not really mentioned a lot. Satan is not mentioned a lot in the Bible, like, at all. It's actually, like, up for debate if, like, the serpent and, like, if the serpent and, like, Eden's garden is even Satan, or if, like, the concept of Satan even existed at that point. So there's, like, some things that are mixed up there. A lot of people say that the snake is not Satan, because, like, there's, like, a lot of debate of, like, who is the serpent? And, like, a lot of people say it's not Satan, because at that point, like, the whole thing didn't happen, and, you get kind of caught up in, like, the mythology, and at the end, it's, like, really not that important in the Bible, because a lot of people focus more on the Second Testament. Where we get to, like, fucking JoJo 2. You got God, and then you have Jesus, the JoJo Part 2.
That's true. That is, and you're crazy. You really bring up a good point, because you're right. They do not describe the demons or the devil.
You can find that in a lot of secondary texts outside of the Bible if you look for it.
But not the first.
But not in the Bible itself.
That's so interesting. You know what? If you think about it, okay, let's say we die, right? Tomorrow we die. Me and Cheeb, we're entering the realm, and we end up in hell for whatever reason. I don't know. You know, we look at it, like, we look all around, and it's just like in that video of Lil Nas X,
where he strips down to hell,
but he's twerking on demons, dude. devil himself, what would you do?
I like the CGI demon stuff. That shit's cool. Because like, the demons are always, like, super bara and buff. Yeah, I really like that stuff. Anyway.
Anyways, yaoi.
We're supposed to be why are we talking about religion? You got me all drunk and I'm like talking about the Bible.
The Bible. Oh no, because I brought up fucking the entertainment aspect of heaven or hell. Mm-hmm. I bring it up because this is what I was gonna ask, because like, okay, because not only because of the testament, because that's more important too, because we need to bring up the fucking history before I bring up this fucking question, because not everybody's was raised religious, you know what I mean, for background. I mean, Cheeb and I, we grew up Catholic and everything, so we you know, have that ingrained in our system and everything else. So that's why that first segment was important. But this, okay, I need to bring this up because, okay, let's say you end up in hell. Or like, okay, no, heaven, right? Mm-hmm. You got Michael Jackson. You got Tupac. You got fucking Jimi Hendrix, right?
They still wouldn't talk to me.
But like, it's a big concert. You know that big joke they got going on TikTok where it's like you fall asleep with a cough and you wake up in a Selena concert, mm-hmm. right? So it's like, who would you look forward to seeing if you ended up in either or? Okay, let's say you end up in heaven. Who would you look forward to seing up there? Entertainment wise.
No, man. Entertainment wise, who would go to heaven? I don't know.
We wake up in whose concert?
Bro, who do I even fucking like, dude?
Do you have interests?
I think everyone, I mean, Chester from Linkin Park. Dude, I fucking love Linkin Park. In the end.
We just saw it. Yeah, earlier today. We just saw it. Me and Cheeb.
We got drunk and we started playing nu metal because I fucking love nu metal.
Yeah, that's like our bonding. Our bonding time.
I think they always send the poor. They give us lies from the tablecloth, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat seeds.
They depend on our protection, yet they feed us lies from the tablecloth.
Exactly, man.
Why do they always send the poor? Why don't the presidents fight the war? Sign Chibi, amen.
Why do they always send the poor and they just keep going on and on and on? I feel like, okay, if I end up in heaven, those fools will definitely be there. I feel like they're pretty good souls.
Anyone who advocates against war is a good guy.
Yeah, I feel like, in my opinion, we're gonna be, you know, if we're in heaven, yeah, we're gonna be vibing. But if we end up in hell,
well, you know, they used to say in, like, the Middle Ages, they have, like, the fucking crusades where, like, little kids were fighting in the war because they didn't have enough grown men. They would tell them that they would go to heaven if, like, they died in the war.
Yeah.
And they used to say in art class that they would say that for, like, the architects, but I don't think that's particularly true because the artists and the architects that would work on the cathedrals were, like, really well paid, supposedly.
Right.
Because we look at, like, I think it's Michelangelo who was, like, paid like people's like year to 2 year salary. Mm-hmm. Like he could live like a couple of years on like what the church would pay him, because like at this point the church was like fucking mad corrupt because it was like it had like a lot of power. The church is still corrupt.
Yeah.
When you look at it that way, when you look at it like Catholicism and like a worldwide view, it's a little bit fucked up, you know. Mm-hmm. They definitely try to protect their own. And some folks never find justice from people who are abused by priests. I remember that's something that we mentioned in Hansarus, but it was all cut out.
That's probably I don't recall, yeah. I do recall one time where you mentioned in a previous Hansarus episode where they had a room in the cathedrals where it was like the sin room.
Oh yeah, the big sin room where they had like a bunch of blasphemous paintings of its time.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like,
yeah, no one's allowed to go in there. No one's ever taken a photograph. There's like all kinds of fucking weird shit in Catholicism, dude. And like I mention it. I mention it a lot in like Hansarus, and I don't know if people think I'm like being disrespectful, but like Catholicism is just a fucking trip, right? It has like such a long history of like fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, man. Oof. I sip to that.
Man, that is some shit.
So what's another fucked up drinking story that you have?
Man, dude, I definitely have one where it's like be falling asleep on the bus. I think that's one thing.
Do they just leave you at the bus station?
So like when I used to live in a different part of town in my area, I would take the bus from work to my house, but I have to stop at a specific stop where it was like in the middle of town. But, like, because you would get so drunk, like, at least for me, it's, like, fucking sleepy medicine.
Just fucking pass out on the fucking bus, dude.
I would, like, at 11 or, like, midnight. So, like, I would just, be like, oh, I'm sleepy.
Maybe you do need to find a religion, dude. Fucking find one of those Eastern religions so you can bring home all of those, like, decorative knickknacks. Burn some incense, bro. Like,
yeah, man. Cause I don't do this no more. But like back in the day, like okay, yeah, like I would like okay, my eyes feel heavy. I'm gonna like close my eyes for a second and then just fall asleep. Whatever. I wake up and I'm at the bus station, like halfway across where I used to live. Right, it's like an hour's worth of walking to my house, and I'm like, holy shit. All because I fell asleep.
Man, that's your own fault, man.
Yeah, man. I'm like, damn, dude, I guess I'm too drunk. I won't do it again. Wink, wink. And I do it again for like a couple of times per week and type shit.
Man, you can't be doing that.
I used to.
You can't be. Like, how old were you?
I was barely 21. So
bro,
I was still new.
Are you okay? Are you better now?
I'm better now. I'm better. Like,
dude.
Back in those days, no, it was hell. Like, I look back at it and I'm like, man, I'm surprised I didn't get robbed or, like, stabbed or anything. Because I was so, like, drunk. I'll be like, yeah, dude, I'll go in your car.
They felt bad for you, bro.
And they're like, oh, we don't want to rob this bitch. She's crying. She's talking about she wants to smoke again. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Who is the Smiths? That's just how it be, man. What about you? You got any more fighting, drunken stories of your homies fighting?
Like, not really. Like, every time I drink, I usually have like wings or pizza, and then my mom. I would still live with my parents because you gotta live rent free in order to afford a down payment for a house, guys. I'm gonna be fucking real with
you. Gotta get it how you live. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta save money in certain places.
Yeah, man.
And my mom would always complain about it, but she would always take like 2 bottles and like take him up to her room to help her sleep. So I'm just like, Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got more friends than I do, I think. So I'm pretty sure y'all are of age together. So I'm pretty sure you got more stories than I do. Because a lot of mine are just really like hood rat shit.
Oh, dude, I love hood rat shit. Like,
yeah,
I remember
fucking church shit.
Like, when we were teenagers, because how old were you when we first met?
I was 13.
Yeah, you were 13. I think I was like 14 or 15. Wait,
no,
how old?
You were barely like 19. I remember because like I barely finished 8th grade, and you were talking about how you finished high school. I remember. It was
no,
like,
I hadn't. I was definitely still in high school. You were in middle school. I was like somewhere in fucking high school.
Older, like a senior or something. I remember.
A senior or sophomore or something. I forgot where I was going. But yeah, you would always like come over. Like, we got along so well. I remember the first thing I asked you if you knew what fucking yaoi was, and then you were just like, "Fuck yeah, ally."
That's how you make allies, folks. You just talk about like yaoi, yuri.
Yeah, and I would recommend you like my favorite fucking yaoi manga, dude, because it was harder to find then, dude.
Oh yeah, back in those days.
Well,
actually,
dude.
I think in my personal biased opinion, I think it was easier back in the day because nowadays, like, there's like hella like apps and like censorship where they just got barred out.
Because they're on the Apple Play Store, you can't have like NSFW content.
Yeah. So I think that we had it pretty easy back at the time.
I mean, you had to like download like the video player to like watch all of like these now that I look at it, like very plot heavy, like yaoi series. Yeah.
I remember like sometimes YouTube would allow it, but back in the day, because these days it's all barred out, or you have to pay for it. That type of shit. They lucrative that type. You know.
You used to be able to find that shit on YouTube, dude.
Yeah.
You used to find shit like fucking
Ranma 1/2 DBZ. We watched this one yaoi. It was this one where this dude was like he was so feminine looking that he pretended to be an actress, and then this other guy had a crush on him, and then like later on in life, like he found out he was a dude, he still pursued him. I don't know if you remember that one.
I don't know. That could be a lot of honestly, dude, that's a lot of
something.
I remember there's
Superstar, some bullshit like that.
There's Ensai. No, I don't like Ensai. I didn't like Ensai when I first watched it. I remember I found that on like some fucking weird foreign site, Ensai whatever. Ensai is like the one that's like about like the fucking French Revolution or some shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, that's just
know about that shit. There was some ones. I think it was we watched this one where it was like the dude in the blue outfits. I don't know if you remember that one.
You gotta be more specific than that.
Dang, let me look. Because there was that one. I remember we used to watch. Man, when we say we bonded over yaoi, we bonded over yaoi. Like we would just like share off the dome, dude. I fucking remember those days.
Dude, it's been a long time. I know, like, some of the kids here, like, Teen was like some fucking... Look, I've looked at, like, what modern yaoi mangas look like. They got, like, that stuff on, like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what this one's called.
Oh, you talking about fucking, that's a visual novel, right?
Visual, and it was also an anime, I remember at one point.
It's, fucking... Oh, shit. It's the one that has, like, one really badly animated episode. It's the one that, like, the budget runs out, like, halfway through.
Oh, you haven't typed it. Dramatical Murder.
Dramatical Murder!
Oh, my
there
God.
we go!
Yeah, that was... I don't know what the other ones are, but yeah, with Dramatical Murder, and then this one. Which one's this one called? I don't remember this one. This is pretty popular too.
Real Men Sparkle. What is that one? What are you looking at?
This is
Where
on
are you
Facebook because I used to put this on my Facebook wall. That's how fucking trashy I was, dude.
When you put pictures of chicken.
Yeah, I'm also Mexican.
What is this one? You didn't put like a description.
I didn't. No,
I don't remember.
I remember this one was a good yaoi. But like Dramatical Murder, I remember this one.
That one's a little bit fucked up. I know Haruka Shutsuji is pretty fucked up. That was another visual novel. I wasn't thinking about visual novels when it comes to like visual novels. You have like I have not explored all of like the big yaoi visual novels. TBH.
Yeah,
There's a lot of them. I know Ensai was a visual novel and it does have like its OVAs. I haven't watched Ensai. I remember when I watched that, I was just like, this shit's illegal. I'm gonna get FBI'd if I keep watching this shit. I can't.
Open up.
There was this one that I really liked where it was like this soccer player where like there's like the pop star singer and like he sees the pop star singer like passed out drunk on the road, so he decides to take him home because that's like the normal thing to do.
Oh my God, no.
And then the pop star is just like, wait a minute, you're my high school crush.
So convenient.
That's like some fucking weird ass name with like
Stockholm
a date
syndrome.
attached to it, dude. And then they continue to have like an extremely abusive relationship.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
101.
Toxic relationships are like my fucking thing in yaoi, dude.
Bitch,
Like people have written to this day, people have written actual scholarly articles breaking down like the really bad aspects of yaoi.
Yeah.
but I fucking love problematic couples in yaoi. Like, I love the drama. I never delved much into Yuri, to BH, because it's very, like, male-gazy.
It is, and also like, it's very small, selective compared to yaoi.
Yaoi,
so
and, like, a lot of it is written by women. It is not for gay men. Yeah, so then it has, like, these kind of tropes that are, like, really toxic, because, like, women... Oh, my God.
Sometimes,
though, I just dropped my cat.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna have another. I'm gonna get really fucking drunk, dude. I'm in my fucking house. I get as drunk as I fucking want.
Hey, bring me one too. Bring me one.
I'll bring you one.
Bring me a lemon one. Yeah, no, I can agree on one thing though. Like, some of them have like really toxic tropes, but sometimes they, like, a lot of them are really like fluff, like emotional fluff, like very cutesy type. Like, there was this one Yuri I was into. It was a manga. It was called Girlfriends. Where these two high school girls, they just became... Let me... Okay. And, yeah, they just became girlfriends in the end. But, like, they were really, like... it was a really cutesy type shit.
Bro, we should do a whole fucking episode on yaoi, but, you know...
Well... Why not?
We're drunk. We're talking about our favorite niche Japanese pornography. So...
now you just grown women things.
Now you have to fucking listen to it, because if you don't listen to it, then you have to be alone with your thoughts, okay?
Exactly. And what better yet to visit the lonely corner than watch fucking yaoi or yuri?
Yeah, I was never a fan of Papa to Kiss in the Dark, because I thought it was too fluff. But, like, fluff is, like, a big genre that people like, because there's,
I like cutesy shit. Because, you know what, like, me, like, I watch a lot of, like, unintentionally, I watch a lot of horny shit on the internet. Like, you just click on, like, random shit on the TL, and you'll see someone tweeting dick. Like, that's literally...
Look, the person who tweeted dick on her TL, I love her. She's going through a hard time.
I love her too.
Look, she's serving our country in the worst way possible, and I love her.
God bless that woman.
God bless her. She's receiving lies from the tablecloth as we speak.
She is allowed to tweet
dick
as much as she wants, 30 times a day. I don't care, man. Every time I salute the flag, I pledge an allegiance, I think of her.
She had to throw away a dildo in the trash, man.
You know how hard it is?
It's hard to serve this country, man, as a woman.
As a woman?
Like, having dildos in the military is, like, illegal or some shit.
You were telling me, or, like, they were telling me, our homegirl, that, like, they have to,
they check
get, like, back massagers to, like, substitute, to, like, massage the clitty, dude. That's crazy as shit, dog.
Bro, look, now, like, that... Don't tell, don't say. Bro, the military is so fucking gay right now.
They are, man.
The military is so gay inclusive right now.
Exactly,
which doesn't erase the fact that the military does, like, really sketchy things, and I'm not gonna go into it, because
we can't. No.
I think I went into it a little bit in the Toxic Woman episode.
You did? Yeah. We'll link it in the description, so you'll see what I mean.
At some point, like, at the end of the episode, I just go off on, like, some of the
military,
some of the atrocities that the U.S. military has done in Mexico.
Yeah, you and Thadi. Shouts out to the homegirl Thadi.
Yeah. We try to do, like, a Mexican like, haunted stuff themed episode, and we actually found that in researching these tales, we learned a lot about, like, colonialism and how it's affected, like, the mythology of Mexico. And it's actually quite depressing, you know? Like,
it's just typical history in life, you know what I'm saying?
We learned a lot, man.
It is a lot.
It is what it is, man.
It is what, now that we're sipping on our other drinks.
I'm drunk. I was not drunk when I started the podcast,
but now I make her drunk. You see how powerful my influence is? I'll be getting everybody drunk. So all my hosts, we all gonna be drinking.
This is my worst drunk stories that I recorded a podcast of myself talking about yaoi. You're gonna post this on the internet. Please follow Hansara's podcast on YouTube. We are also available on Spotify and everywhere you listen to in podcasts.
I'm gonna put it on the description.
That's Hansara's. Gato is there too if you're a fan of her. Yeah, she's our fan favorite. I really like the design that I picked out for her, which I have to redesign. She's just like, my hair don't look like that no more. And
I shaved my head a while back, and yeah, her and Thoughty are like, fucking put your hair back.
Yeah, bro, we're not changing the design now.
I'm not retrying this shit, bitch. I got recognized once. Yeah, that's Gato. That was sick. And that was clean as fuck. I feel like, okay, because, like, okay, you went to Cancun. You had sake. You have any other
shit
drinks?
Tastes nasty.
Down there or like up here or like in general?
Just in general, like hard liquors. I think the most I've had is like tequila with skirt.
Sake is different compared to like that, because sake is more of like kind of like what we're sipping on, like a fuzzy, fruity drink. Mm-hmm. Did you like that more than like tequila? And,
bro, the thing about sake is that I wanted to save the bottle because I thought it looked pretty, and like I didn't drink it all because I was drinking with my family. So you know, when you drink with your family, you're not gonna get fucking pissed drunk like I am right now.
Yeah. Exactly. You're not gonna get drunk in front of mom, dude.
You're gonna get pissed drunk in front of your parents. So I didn't drink all of the sake. So when we went to the airport, the alcohol wasn't allowed. So what my dad tried to do, because I really liked the bottle, he tried to chug it all.
Oh my god!
On the way back, and he simply could not do it. And like, it was a valiant effort.
What a soldier. God bless that man.
But he couldn't do it. So my dad was like drunk in the passport because he tried to chug all of the sake so that way he could get through airport security.
That's crazy.
Because I really liked the bottle because it was super cute. It had like little cherry blossoms on it. And I wanted to bring it back as a memento. And then my mom was like pissed the entire time because they sold alcohol inside of the airport. So for those of you who are not American, when you go into an American airport, you go through like all the fucking bullshit security stuff, and then you enter the airport that's basically a giant fucking mall where everything is like way overpriced, and in this giant fucking mall there's alcohol that you could take with you. And so when my mom saw that, they were like literally selling alcohol at like every fucking corner of the Cancun airport, she was like fucking pissed that they wouldn't let us take my little sake bottle.
That's fucking insane, dude. Mm-hmm. That's really fucking dang, dude. And God bless your pops, dude, because that's some shit to do. That's some shit, dude.
So like Cancun is like the Vegas Strip. There's like the one like Flamingo Street or whatever. There's like the one strip where it's like all the touristy shit, and then after you pass the strip, you just go into like actual Mexico.
Right. Like
XO. Yeah, you got you find like the fucking bodega and shit.
The actual taqueros where they have like the freshly cut like cow. Like you see the head as you're eating the taco.
Yeah, dude, Cancun is so fucking fake, dude. Like I recommend that you just keep fucking walking until you exit the strip, and then you'll find like the actual like tourist markets and like the actual like Mexico.
In the daytime, don't go at night, dog. Okay, Mexico's still kind of.
Bro, I remember being in Cancun and like the people working there would like tell us how fucked up like the economy of like the hotels were, because like none of that money is going back into the community. No. I'm drunk right now. I'm like peaking, but none of the money that is made from the hotels is going back to the community. Exactly. No one is making any fucking money off of the hotels in like Cancun. It's not going back into the community.
Like, you think
the service jobs are not substantial enough to like really make an effect and like create like a substantial economy. Like there's still a giant wage gap between the poor and the rich. And
yeah, man, if you think the minimum wage in America is shit, wait till you go to Mexico and you hear how they really live, dude. It's way fucked, dude.
Yeah, man. And like, I'm not the privileged one here. You're also extremely privileged.
Because I was born here?
Yeah, but like your mom owns like a giant. Dude, I remember I went over to your house. You have like a patio on like the second story of your house. You can't look at me and judge me, okay? Your mom lives in a fucking mansion.
You live in like the suburbs, dude. What the fuck? Your street is safe. Like, I can actually go on night walks in your street.
The biggest problem with you is that you have some fucking coyotes.
Exactly, dude.
Like, your mom has Bro, your mom has a ranch with her big-ass truck and her big-ass patio, and she has chickens and shit. In Mexico, she's a fucking millionaire, dude.
Exactly. They'll look at her and they'll try to marry her. We're talking about drinking and religion. I don't even know what the fuck I'm going. I'm drunk as fuck, too. You know
yeah, this is definitely not token HRU content, dude.
Yeah, HRU
is very beautifully edited. I love Sock Monkey because, like, sometimes... Because when I was recording HRU, especially the latest episodes, I had, like, brainworms. I recorded the most episodes while I had COVID. Mm-hmm. And so, like, at that point, I was, like, very angry. Because as I've looked at the statistics... Bakers are like the second or third most likely to like die of COVID, and I was a baker.
Yeah.
So like I had
your
COVID.
Mortality rate was like fucking there.
Yeah, I was
there.
definitely like a lamb of sacrifice when it came to like essential workers. Mm-hmm. And, like, it fucked me up for a bit. Like, I got brainworms for a bit, so, like, I would just, like, speak a bunch of, like, political shit, and it was all edited out. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I'm a little bit better now. Things have definitely been better. Like, I was dealing with a lot. Like, one of my family members passed.
I see.
All of my relatives got sick. And you had COVID too, so COVID you got the brainworms too.
Oh yeah,
where you were just like fucking angry for a bit.
I was fucking depressed. So like when I had COVID, it was during the time because I get seasonal depression. So this is like late November, early December. So like I was dealing with the ruts naturally by like fucking seasonal, and then COVID. Thank you, Cheeb, for tuning in to my first... Stop it! This bitch is drinking. This bitch has the audacity to pull
I can't stand up straight. Help me. The room is spinning, dude. I'm fucked up. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know how much of my rants are gonna get in here, because I do talk...
We talk
a little bit about religion on Haunts R Us.
It's okay. It's canon to this episode of, Lonely Corner is like a sister channel of Haunts R Us. We're kind of neighborly. Mm-hmm. This is my little corner where I just talk my shit and everything else, and I bring people along. And you just happen to be a part of it, Cheeb. So thank you for being on and, telling your stories of drunkens and religions and all that kind of thing. Properties and whatever the
You're all so drunk. You're having like your third fucking drink.
Oh yeah, this is my third. I'm probably not gonna remember this, but it's all good. And that's a wrap.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and press the bell button because Gato does not update fucking weekly. She'll upload another episode in a fucking year.
Yeah, maybe a year or two. Mm-hmm. So we'll see about that.
We'll have the full yaoi episode and like eventually. I have some people that I want to invite to the yaoi episode because there are people who knew me in my yaoi phase.
It's not a phase, Mom.
And you know what? You deserve to know about the ugly part of being a yaoi fangirl, and they'll be able to tell you.
And we'll know about it in that next episode, which is coming when?
Fucking, I don't know, next year probably.
So stay tuned, stay subscribed, keep that bell button on, because within a year...
Last year we said we were going to bring back your podcast, and then we never did.
And just like with HRU, dog, we're like, we're gonna bring an episode every week, and we never did.
All right.
Season 2 is dragging out. I think we just gotta skip over and put in season 3.
Yeah, dude. Anyways, please watch Haunts Are Us. We talk about
Yes.
haunted things.
We are haunted on Maine.
Yeah, we are haunted on
We
Maine.
are
That's the
haunted.
shit that we say. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll put in links in the description so you will not miss anything else.
Yeah, if you want to hear more about Gato, if this is the personality that you really like, if you want to hear more from me, we definitely we're expanding in Haunts Are Us, definitely. We've gotten more hosts.
Yeah.
We have a small but dedicated audience. We're big in the Raggedy Ann fandom.
Yeah, dude. We out here, you know what I mean?
Which I didn't know the Raggedy Ann fandom was a thing, but I think we should definitely. I think I want to expand to like video.
Yeah.
So you might be seeing my face probably with like a mask. I have to commission a mask.
I put my face out there. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't. I have like a normie job. Actually, no. Right now I'm a housewife. But you know, I'm a housewife right now, so like I have no excuse as to why I'm not making HRU content.
Yeah, man, we gotta. They're asking me, the fans. They're like, Gato, fucking bring it up, dude. Where's that sleep paralysis episode, dude?
Oh yeah, it's being edited. Haunts Are Us is definitely a labor of love. We put a lot of work into it. Thoughty is our main artist. I also do some of the drawings. If you go to Haunts Are Us, you'll see that it's very like original character and art centered. We all have like our little doll sonas. Gato wears like the yellow overalls. I wear the blue dress. Thoughty wears the green and black dress.
Yeah, got the girl represent.
And then we're always adding new people because people really like our podcast. It was very small, but folks seem to really like it. They want to be part of it.
It's a tight-knit community.
Like a lot of my real life friends will say like, "Oh, your podcast is cute." I want to be I want to be part of it. So we started with just 3 hosts talking shit, and now we have 4 to 5 hosts that'll come in interchangeably.
Yeah.
So we're definitely expanding. Maybe we'll start selling merchandise of our art soon.
I would hope, yeah.
Yeah, because we have a lot of art. Thoughty is an amazing artist. We'll link her Instagram down here. I also do the art. We'll just fucking post the Instagram. Instagram's where we post all of our art.
Honestly, yeah. We'll post a lot of art. Like I said, in the description, a lot of links will be put down there, so keep on a lookout for that, and definitely give Haunts Are Us a listen if you're interested.
Yeah, because that one, there's a lot more people involved in that.
Yeah, a lot more high quality editing and whatnot, and actual topics, and not just
like it's
I can't guarantee sober.
It's a very high quality podcast for how low quality our hosts are.
High quality art, but low quality audio, that type of shit.
Yeah, we have a lot of great people working on it. We have our editors, our artists. We have our own original soundtrack made by the Donkmong. It's a big labor of love. So if you're someone that happened to stumble across what is this called?
Lonely Corner.
The Lonely Corner, and you want to hear more of Gato, you could definitely hear her on Haunts Are Us. And we'll make sure to start making more Lonely Corner episodes from now on, because yeah, man, we've kind of gotten in the rhythm of like starting to do podcasts.
Yeah, man, I've been.
So this will definitely be our more like unfiltered sort of shit here. So we'll definitely bring more HRU people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So if you love Lonely Corner, definitely check out Haunts Are Us, and you'll absolutely be hearing Haunts Are Us people coming into the Lonely Corner.
Yeah.
And I think you're due for an episode on another podcast called Morning Drew, who is Hansarus's brother podcast.
Yeah,
this is Lonely Corner is our sister podcast. Morning Drew is our brother podcast.
Yeah, that fool gotta hit me up so I can be on. Comment, subscribe, like, or whatever the fuck. Or whatever, man. You vibing, you smoking, you drinking with me, or you sober, whatever the fuck. I hope you were doing great and you have a wonderful day or a wonderful night. Midnight, whatever the fuck. Because it's almost 2 a.m. Bitch.
Bitch, it is. Oh yeah, let's put Silent Hill on.
Put some Silent Hill on.
Yeah, dude, I can't play that shit. I'm too drunk.
and we out. Yeah, yeah.